Okay, so we're going to go through one of the best exercises to develop really nice shoulders, but not only that, to build strength in your upper body, the overhead press is superior. And you have to think about all the things in your life that you're going to need overhead strength for. You know, it's not just aesthetic, but you're putting things up on a cabinet, you're lifting things up. Like if you travel, up in the little carry-on thing, taking things down. There's so many things that require upper body strength in that position that it's really important not to ignore it. Okay, so let's go through a seated overhead press. Now, you can put the bench straight up. I like it at a very slight incline. It just feels better on my shoulders, but whatever feels better for you. You know, I used to do it straight up and then I started practicing it on an incline and I really just enjoyed it better. So let's just get into it. So because of the wide range of motion that obviously your arms need to have, that makes the shoulder joint very kind of not stable. Okay, it's very fragile almost. Doesn't mean like you need to be careful, you can't lift heavy, da, da, da. We have to be smart about the range of motion that you put it in when you're lifting these heavy loads. So we always just want to protect it, obviously. So let's get into it. So there are a few things you can do. So now mine's at an incline. Like I said, if I was straight up, I'd probably just be sitting like this. Neither is wrong. I just like an incline for me personally. So there's a couple different grips, you know, that I like to do in a seated overhead press. So you can have your arms straight out like this. So it's almost like a 90-degree. You're not way back here because that's going to put too much stress and pressure again on that fragile, small, unstable shoulder joint, which we don't want to do. So you can do arms out, like palms facing out and press straight up. Or what I prefer to do is like a neutral grip like this. So my palms are almost like at 45 degrees and then I'm pressing them up like this. All right. So once we get to about like 90 degrees, I like to go slightly lower to get a little extra range of motion, but really you can stop at about 90 degrees, like maybe the bottom of your ears, and then you press the dumbbell straight up. Okay. A couple of things that I see is people try to bring them up together and like press them up. It's just one slow motion. Let the dumbbells kind of land where they do at the top. They should be coming together, but once they get to the top, you don't need to like press them together again, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Okay, so down, and again, this grip out, palms totally out, up and down, up and down. So it just really depends on what feels good for you, what you prefer, what your shoulder will tolerate, things like that. As far as range of motion goes, like I said, we want to make sure we come down to at least 90 degrees, but you have to listen to your body. And if that doesn't feel good, if going to 90 degrees, your shoulder's like screaming at you, then you're going to have to work through that. And that does not mean ignore it. I definitely do not want you to ignore it. If that happens to you, I want you to figure out how to work through it. So lighten the load and slowly week after week, get your range of motion slightly lower, so that way your muscles and the joints and everything get used to you being in that range of motion with a heavier load. So don't ignore it if you don't have full range of motion. You need to work through it because you're just teaching your body that you don't need to do that. And that's not going to be very good long term because your body will literally, like, the range of motion will just get worse and worse and worse and worse. So lighten the load, drop the ego at the door, and then just focus on building the range of motion and the strength in the range of motion that you don't have yet. There's obviously tons of different variations. You know, you can do like Arnold presses, which I love. So there's so many different kind of overhead presses that you can do, but this is just like a regular seated shoulder press because I think it's one of the basic staples in a strength training program. So it's really, really important that you just nail this one down. So yeah, if you have any questions or if you struggle with something that I didn't cover, just comment below and I'm happy to help you specifically, or private message me if you don't want to post it for everybody to see. Okay, bye.